Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about cars, and trucks, and SUVs, and dogs, and motorcycles. Good morning there. Wow, another beautiful morning here in the Northern Virginia area, and just incredible how there ain't no winter. There ain't no winter here in this area. It's supposed to be 70 degrees today. Am I in Florida? Beyond unbelievable. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Subscribe to my channel and watch my channel. Appreciate the support and help and comments. And hey, what have we been doing? It's all about the gravel. Come on, pups. Come on. Let's go. Kind of graded this stuff out yesterday, and it'll kind of work its way in as you kind of... Hey, come on, Will. Come on over here. Let's get in the office. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Been following my video. It's all been about that Power Boost truck. Oh my gosh, the Power Boost truck. It gets beyond believable. If you ever look around my property, how many trucks do I have? There's one, there's two, there's three, there's four, there's five, there's six. My F-150 Lightning's somewhere else, 7. My other Ranger truck is somewhere else, 8. I think I didn't count the Maverick, 9. So I have like 9 trucks. As far as I know, I think. Yeah, right, 9. So anyways, yeah, trucks. I thought today's conversation, come on, let's go. Come on, could be about trucks. How about that idea? I mean, borderline, that's a truck. I mean, yeah, come on, Pops, let's go, come on. Yeah, the Ford Power Boost, it's been a conversation. This Ford Power Boost, I think it takes the cake of all the competition. I think this truck right here, with this hybrid setup, 430 horsepower, 570 foot-pounds of torque. This thing just an animal. And I just have been convinced, and I'm convinced that this is the truck to get. And wow. I mean, I just am so impressed with that truck, its capabilities. You saw me, if you watch my channel, I did the Ram 3500 tow that trailer with the same weights. And then I did the tow the same, weights in this trailer with that Power Boost, and wow, beyond believable. I mean, I'm not embellishing here. Beyond believable. Truck is just accomplishing things I would have said I don't think it's going to be, because it's a half-ton truck. Oh my goodness, got to get the day going here, get to the office, get the work schedule, get things out of my pocket, because otherwise, what happens is I close the barn doors on my truck. And other guy that works for me, Joe, and so anyways, yeah, how many cars do you have? 1, 2, Mustangs out there, 3, and some other Mustangs are down 5. So as far as the car side goes, I have like double the trucks to cars. I mean, I literally have double the cars to trucks. I mean, it's close to... basically close to 10 trucks. Count the Broncos being an SUV. What about the Jeep Grand Cherokee? Yeah. Oh, do I turn the heat on? It's not too cold, but probably will. Let me get the room warmed up a little bit here in the morning office here in the barn that I rebuilt. Hard to believe. 21 years ago, I rebuilt this barn. And I didn't put this office in here until 2005. Joe's dad built my office. I met Joe's dad. And Joe's a good person in my life that's been with me and been blessed. And it's interesting on how I met Joe's father. It was all because I had a fancy Chevy truck. I mean, the truck, to me, my whole life has revolved around trucks. I mean, that's really where I came from, is the truck addictions. I'm sure if I ever, I just know. I have on far more trucks. Let me slide in my little camera thing here that kind of supposed to make me look better, I guess. I don't know if this thing kind of looks like I'm talking down to you, if you know what I mean. I think this thing should be up just a little higher, so I don't look like I'm, do I lower my chair down? Yeah, it's all about the trucks, and I met Joe's father back in like 2004, I think, maybe. I think I did. down at the local gas station. And the way I met him is because he was very intrigued to see my Chevy Black SS 1500 lowered truck I had that had 22s on it, and it was the extended cab setup, the SS package. Maybe remembers those. And I put the 22 wheel and tire package on it. That thing rode so bouncy and crappy. But it was a factory setup, and it was 4-wheel drive. But it was, it had a low profile, low stance. Back in the 2000 years, I was definitely into Chevy time. Chevy and Ram were my trucks. Not really, for the most part, Fords. And so anyways, if it wasn't for me having that black truck, would I have met Joe's father some years ago? And come to be, he was a general contractor, and he did work, and he helped renovate my inside of my home, and he helped put this office here in my office back in 2005. What I did is I said, I'll give you a shot to see the type of work you do. I've got a project for you in my barn. I want to put an office upstairs. So I didn't have an office. My office was in my freaking house from the 90s, from the early 90s until 2000, really mid-2005. I worked out of my house. I didn't have a nice office like this. So, and then I worked out of the gravel in these sheds. This barn wasn't capable. I've shown pictures before of my barn prior to me restoring it. And anybody here is kind of new, I'll just kind of show it real quick just to kind of keep the conversation. Hey, there's another Bronco thing. So this is how the barn used to look. Yeah, so the barn was falling to the ground, actually. So I rebuilt that thing and had to raise it up and everything. And so I didn't have much. I didn't have a shop. It wasn't until 2002 that I restored this barn. Anyways, it's all about you, right? Yeah, it's all about me. Well, it's my YouTube channel, so I guess it is all about me, right? And even though I think to myself, gee, it's all about me. But hopefully my stories can help you relate to me, or I can relate to you, and hopefully that helps you. That's kind of the whole idea. Just ideas, thoughts, views. And so the trucks, wow, it's deep. It's deep on the trucks, because that's really where my passion for the vehicles really exploded when I was a young kid. I was not fixated on fixing up a fancy car when I was a kid. I was fixated on fixing up a truck and putting a lift kit on it, putting bigger tires and wheels on it, putting exhaust on it, changing out the carburetor, manifold, headers, roll bar, lights, the bigger wheels and tires. I did all that. I did that all in my 78 Chevy truck. It was my dad's truck, but he was so nice to let me do all that stuff to it. And then I sunk it. Yeah, I sunk that truck in a stream that turned into a river at nighttime with my two other friends, and we floated down the river, and that wasn't good. I mean, that could have been a story of me losing one of my friends when he jumped out of the truck to go to shore to get help. And then he runs to, there's a lot of story behind that, but he runs to my other friend's house who can't swim, and because we did this right up the street from one of my good friends' homes. And the first thing comes out of his mouth at like 11 o'clock on Friday night when it's downpouring and raining to this other guy's mother, that don't worry, he's not going to drown. As we're sitting out, launched up against a tree in the middle of what was a stream, now it's a river that's overflowing my top of the hood of my Chevy truck, which would be every bit as high as the Ram truck out there in the driveway. And we're hanging. I tied the truck up to a tree. I'm not lying to you, with my roll bar to try to secure from keep on going down the river. I was floating down the river. But my friend, it's just a blessing that when he jumped out of the truck, he had to swim to shore, and it was just such a little distance that he was able to kind of borderline jump to the shore as he kind of, oh my gosh, he would have drowned and died. Oh, it just does when you're a kid. Yeah, the things we do. I'd bore you with the stories of my adventures in my cars and trucks. I'm just not going to do it. Tell stories here and there, I guess. So yeah, so the trucks. Now what's driving this conversation? It's that Ford Power Boost. And this morning, I was so intrigued on how much I'm bragging about that Power Boost. Hey, how do you like my Krispy Kreme? Got my wife down there in Tennessee some Krispy Kreme coffee mugs. Krispy Kreme claims they make all their donuts on site, and Dunkin' Donuts, all their donuts show up frozen and they just heat them up. I have no idea, but anyways, the bragging rights about the Ford F-150 with the Power Boost motor in it, 430 horsepower, V6 twin turbo, and 570 foot-pounds of torque, blah, blah, blah. And the Ford lineup, as far as what's available in a half-ton series, that truck motor setup is the best of all the motors, with the exception if you go to the Ford Raptor R and get the what used to be the Predator motor and the GT500, they've changed it to a different name. I need to know that name. It starts with a C. It's like Corona or Conovia or something. I can't remember. Somebody, if you look it up, you'll see it. It's the GT500 motor with a different setup on the supercharger. And it's not built in the Romeo Juliet. The Romeo factory, because they closed it down, it's built in the Ford's other manufacturing performance plan or whatever it is. Just so much information anymore. My gosh, if you start just looking at all the cars and trucks, and that's what I'm saying. This morning, I'm so bragging about the Ford product. I'm thinking, I better be careful, because it becomes to a point where somebody like, well, you don't really know everything because you're wrong. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm wrong. Well, I decided to kind of do some research. So I looked up the General Motors specs on their half-ton truck. I'm talking half-ton. I'm not talking 3/4 ton, 1 ton diesel option trucks. I'm talking half-ton, big V8 diesels or 6-cylinder diesels available in the heavy-duty series truck. So in the half-ton truck, Ram, Chevy, they don't have anything that compares with the Ford motor. I did not look at the Nissan specs. I just don't see Nissan. I think Nissan, whatever. Yeah, don't take it too wrong, Nissan people. I guess, they have some pretty cool vehicles, don't get me wrong. But I didn't focus on that one, so I could be wrong there. But what I found out is Toyota's iForce Max actually overtakes the Ford Power Boost. Yeah, even for me, I was like, wow. So for Toyota, their iMax Force, it's the hybrid battery setup, like the Ford product. It is 437 horsepower and 583 foot-pounds of torque. Oh, wow. So 7 more horsepower and 13 more foot-pounds of torque. Oh, no, this ain't good. This is not good. Because now, what do I want to do? Yeah, now I want to go drive the Toyota iForce Max. Yes. I was on a page last fall to buy a Toyota Tundra. I really was. A nice extended cab. There was a TRD, not the Pro, TRD package. Just a really nice looking truck. Looked good. Didn't have the iForce in it, but now doing more research, I think that I didn't have the iForce Max. iForce is the non-hybrid, just like the twin turbo in the Ford truck. You have the twin turbo availability versus the twin turbo hybrid setup that gives me all the power. So, as far as the product line goes, you have to say, so Toyota actually in the half-ton series packages outdoes everybody. Which, wow, that's an eye-opener. I didn't realize that. I knew that iForce Max was powerful, but I didn't realize it actually outdid Ford. But it doesn't outdo the towing. So the Ford is, I think, 12.7, I think, on my truck. I think Toyota is like 11 and change. So, which that's interesting. And I may be wrong on that number. And something I was talking about yesterday, more than ever, I have not gotten all, I'm not on my routine this morning. Just not on the routine. Got to get my news thing going. Got to have more coffee, my Krispy Kreme, right? So, I used to say, don't drink and eat things on frickin' video. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, so, the truck, for me, what is it about the truck? For me, that's what I was saying. My beginning conversation here about, for me and my trucks, is when I was a teenager, my passion was trucks. It was not cars. I was not fixated on having a fancy, all done up, fast car. It was more about trucks. Really, it was until I got out of high school that I kind of came to the Mopar side, because a friend of mine was into the Mopars, and he kind of persuaded me to get more fixated on the Mopars. But he wasn't a truck guy. And actually, down the road, he kind of a little bit got into trucks, nothing much. He never really got into the trucks like I did. He was all more the car guy, Dodge Challenger, and eventually got like a Toyota pickup truck, I think, I can't even remember. But the whole point is, I was always the one in the family and around my friends who was the truck nut. And in hindsight, going back to the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, I was really, I guess, like the beginning of the truck craze. Because back in the 70s, you just didn't have trucks that are like today. In fact, there's a company called Velocity Restorations, I believe, out of Florida, that's restoring the 5th generation Ford like Super Duty series, like F-250s. And apparently Jay Leno did a video on this stuff, and really, really nice trucks. And that made me think, when I lived in California, my neighbor across the street, my friend Nick Haskell, his brother Craig Haskell, and his father George Haskell, and his mother, I think, Betty Haskell, he worked for the Kaiser Concrete Company. And every now and then they would give him that pink colored, that was the color, Kaiser branded color was pink. And he would bring home every now and then an F-150 pickup truck. I can still to this day remember us getting in the back of the bed of the truck and his dad driving us here or there. And I just loved that F-150 truck. So that was one of my real beginnings for me that I can remember. That when I rode around like in a truck was in California. That would have been like 1973 or 74. And then eventually I convinced my dad to buy a little Toyota, I guess, Hilux pickup truck. And it wasn't until 1978 that we actually ordered a real truck. So in our family, pretty incredible. For my father, he didn't have his first actual real truck until 1978. Yeah, and prior to that time, we always just had cars. And yeah, in California, I had a little Toyota pickup, but we moved right after we bought that thing, 6 months, 9 months later. So where did the truck thing come from? I guess maybe it's that California thing. So anyways, for me, as I progressed in life, that was my main focus of just always owning trucks. And I have a picture of one of my Chevy stepside trucks that I had sitting over there on my wall, that was my passion. I'll just show you that my total dream of my truck desire was to get truck. And this one here I bought used, and that was like a 1981 Chevy stepside half-ton truck with Dixie Pack 40s on it. It had like an 8-inch lift on it, blocks under it basically, custom leather tucked rolled interior. But I also had my Cuda here. But I sold that to enable me to own that. And that was a really cool truck. Yeah, so that was always my dream, was to have a really badass lifted truck. Rode like a brick on tires. But anyways, so now kind of going to present times, I was talking yesterday about how the Ford F-150 truck, it to me now is doing the things that are capable. It has the capabilities of a 3/4 ton truck. Even one of a viewer actually posted on my channel that he's like, "God dang it." He's like, "I can't believe it. After watching this video, now I don't know if I want to get a Super Duty truck." And he's been on the page that he wants to get a Super Duty truck. But after watching my video and seeing how that truck just pulled that 12,000 pounds down the road like nothing, considering what the truck is and how it handled it, he's now like, wow, man, right. And that's why I'm talking about this, because more than ever in my life, I mentioned this yesterday, I think the F-150 truck is borderline a three-quarter. It's a three-quarter ton truck from, say, 20 years ago. If you look at the specs of trucks 20 years ago, what a three-quarter ton truck could do in comparison to what this F-150 does now. But the bar has been raised through each series, so that's a challenge. F-250, the bar has been raised. F-350, bar has been raised. F-450, the bar has been raised. But overall, for what the average person's going to do with a truck, I mean, sincerely, how many people are running around pulling 20,000-pound trailers? And yeah, the bed, and here's the thing, the Toyota, here's the danger. Where I haven't done the total research on the Ford side, but I don't think you can get a 6 foot or 6.5 foot bed and a half-ton truck setup with that power boost, but I'm not sure. And here's the thing to think about. When does Ford put that motor in the F-250? Yeah, I mean, think this through. Now, let me stop before I get to that. Toyota offers a 6.5 foot bed, I-Force Max setup. Wow. Yeah, wow. And in the Toyota side, you can get that I-Force Max from the Limited to the Platinum to the 1794 edition, I believe, to the Capstone edition. But these aren't cheap trucks. I mean, so the thing is, you're going to be in the, I'm sure you're at the $70,000 plus price on that. And, you know, I haven't really done a lot of research on the Power Boost on the package. I think somebody said the Rattler or something like that. So is Ford offering on the incentive side more base truck Power Boost setup? I haven't done my research on it. The Power Boost just popped in my life all by accident. I was never in the mission of selling my Raptor truck for an F-150 truck of lesser than the Raptor. I really was not on that page to trade out of that for something less, which I think I traded into something more in so many aspects. But yeah, the Raptor. After seeing that Raptor 2 days ago, that the area, whatever area color it is, it has that same look as my color of my truck. Wow, that was a really good looking truck. Yikes. But yeah. So anyways, so for the Ford, does Ford then take the Power Boost setup to the heavy duty series? Because the Power Boost setup is the better overall package and all the power for the Ford engine selection, 6.2, 7.3, 5.0. You have to go to the 5.2 supercharged motor, or you have to go to the Raptor high output twin V6 turbo motor, but it still isn't hitting the torque. So it has 450 horsepower, and I think it has like 530 or maybe 550 on the torque. But that electric battery hybrid setup is what really knocks it out of the park. Is you just feel that electric battery power, that torque, and the quietness of the engine. It's just not struggling. So it's just an incredible. I mean, it just, to me, as each day progresses and I've owned this truck, even for myself, I'm just stumped like, wow, how did this all play out for me? Because I was never fixated on trading my Raptor truck for just another F-150 series truck. And it was only because of the lousy gas mileage in that Raptor truck that I was getting that I just thought, you know what? Is it worth keeping this truck and not go to Ram TRX? I was really more on the page that the Raptor truck, I always have held off on getting the Ram TRX truck is because of the fuel mileage. That's the main reason. I've never bought the Jeep Grand Cherokee Hellcat option Jeep because of the fuel mileage. Some people are like, yeah, but you have the money. I mean, well, it's more about the nuisance of having to fill up all the damn time. And just for that extra power, is it really worth it? And so that was for me. I looked at a beautiful Jeep Grand Cherokee setup, SRT Hellcat motor in it, years back, but I just had a hard time coming to closure. I'm going to fill up like every day. I drive that thing, I'm going to go and spend $75 to $100 every day at the gas station. And I just like, it just has, it can only go so far. Ram TRX, same thing. I really had trying to get my thing all set up here. Um, the biggest thing was for me was just the fact that things are going to be a gas hog, and is it really worth it for just to be able to do a big old run up the road fast as all get out? I just couldn't come to closure on it. But here's the thing: once that Raptor truck that I own was starting to see 12 miles per gallon, I started thinking, you know what, I would take a Ram TRX at this point, because this truck here, nice, really nice package and all, but for the fuel mileage I'm getting, I'll just take a Ram TRX. Would I like to have a Raptor R? Yeah, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's just too expensive. I think Ford, I talked about this yesterday, I think Ford is these manufacturers are so out of control. They're just driving the price of everything. I mean, does everybody make this insane money? I mean, I'm no idiot to life. People don't. But in general, the manufacturers, I think that everybody's just ready to go sign up on the $1,000 a month car payments. That's where it's all going. I mean, unless you have 20 to 30 grand. I mean, you think it through. An $84,000 truck I just bought. You put tax and tags on that truck, and you add the warranty or this or that, gap insurance, whatever it may be. You're at $90,000. If you put down $30,000, your monthly payment is going to be $1,000 a month. And that's not including insurance and fuel and maintenance. And that's why I'm stumped. I am stumped. I have a business, so people be like, I have a company. So I can take some of these vehicles I own and use them legitimately for my company and business. So I can rationalize that makes sense. Otherwise, in so many aspects, no way. No way. The average borrowing rate is about $17 to $18 a thousand. If you get a no interest loan, it's like $16 a thousand on 60 months or something like that. So if you just take like 60, so I'll just take 60 right now times 18, that's $1,080 a month in a car payment, truck payment. If you don't have a company to justify that expenditure, that you're using it to earn a living through using your truck, wow. And that's where we are today more than ever. There's so many people that do make incredible money. They'll go buy these $100,000 vehicles, and $2,000 a month obligation on a car, it's nothing. These are people who are pulling $500,000 incomes. And if they're dual incomes, they can be pulling close to $1 million. Conservative. The Loudoun County, Virginia, has the highest median income of any county in the country. So meaning that between the wife and the husband, or the partners, or however you want to categorize your life, this area has the highest income to any state or county in the country. Yes. So the wealth, why? It's because this is the county next to the federal government. Well, what does that mean? It means that most people that work around here have federal government jobs or have businesses associated with the government. And typically, these are businesses that are very healthy and very rich because of the tax base that's created in this country that brings in the monies to continue to keep people in a position to have jobs. And this area here, when we go through really bad times, does this area see it? It does. But does it see it radical like in other parts of the country? No. This area has always been very stable for the most part. This has always been a very lucrative area. And it's even more lucrative now because of Microsoft has come here, Amazon has come here. The whole Silicon Valley has transferred from California to this D.C. metro area. And there's no doubt in my mind, the Virginia, D.C., Maryland metro area is the future California real estate. It's just going to be insane on how much stuff is going to be because people will come here to work here to hopefully get a good job, and they'll probably make good money, and it's all proportional. That's what happens. Oh my goodness, it's all about the trucks. It's just all about the trucks. Now, yeah, what's the danger? Toyota Tundra. I have to go drive the Toyota Tundra. I-Force Max package. I have no option to do that. Do I buy one? I don't know. I mean, it's incredible on how so many car reviews on that truck from what I read from Motor Trend, Truck Trend, Car and Driver, just different perspectives. Auto Week. So Tony Stewart's going to be in Top Fuel NHRA drag race this year. Apparently, unbeknownst to me, I mean, I know that Tony Stewart owns his own Top Fuel and Funny Car, Leah Pruitt and Matt Hagan, NHRA team of the Tony Stewart Racing. But apparently, he's going to race for the McPhillips family, I guess Lucas Oil sponsored family operation. And he's going to be running in the NHRA dragsters this year. Isn't that interesting? Well, with that, I don't know if he'll be in Top Fuel or Funny Car, but apparently last year he played around with it last year in Las Vegas at the end of the year or something, and now he's 51 years old and he wants to get into Top Fuel. And so, once again, I don't know if he's going to be in Leah Pruitt's class and Brittany Force's class and others, or is he going to be in the John Force and the Matt Hagan class? I don't know. But the whole point is, wow, would that be something to see Leah Pruitt and Tony Stewart matched up at the line if he's in Top Fuel? Wow. Wow. Talk about, wow, married couple. I mean, come on. Can you leave it at the track? If Leah Pruitt smokes Tony, I mean, can he leave that at the track? Do you know who Tony Stewart is? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, right. I mean, interesting times ahead. Very. So the season starts. I'll be down there at the Gator Nationals, and so I'll be really interested to see that. That's going to be entertaining. I think it will be. But the emotion. So Tony. So you got to wonder. You know, I guess since Tony can't really be on his own team, because you have to take somebody out of the seat. So I guess that's the only reason. I guess I don't know. And it's money, too. It's huge money. So I'm sure his position, I'll run off the McPhillips family's money and make money that helps me pay for my operation because of the money drain of those operations. I mean, yeah, that's extremely expensive. Those guys are running that Top Fuel. I can't remember if you watched my videos from last spring. I think it's like these guys are burning like $300 to $500 worth of fuel each, pass. It's because the fuel, that nitro fuel is so expensive. And if you watch that, you really pay attention. They only let those things, they roll those things up to the line to do their burnout. I mean, right before they're getting ready to do burnout, they start those cars up. And they do their burnout, and then they come back as fast as possible, and then they line up and they go. There's not much idling time in those vehicles because it's so expensive. They're just going through so much fuel. So if you ever kind of really pay attention, it isn't like your typical your dragsters, guys lining up, where you have guys maybe in the background just kind of, your cars are idling or whatever. It's very fast-paced to get things burn out and then push the car back, line up, and go. So, wow. Oh, my goodness. Interesting times. And for me now fixated on the Toyota Tundra. Now I'm like, oh, but is it the same truck, though? I mean, really? The articles I've read on that truck, and I'm trying to think right now, have I driven the new Tundra? I don't think I have. Yeah, this is dangerous, right? Yeah, what's the next? Yeah, what am I giving up for that? Yeah, this ain't good, is it? All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate all the support. And stay tuned for more adventures. What's the next adventure? Hey, everybody. God bless. Stay safe. And